All right. Hey, that was sort of okay. Yeah. So I'm on back on the Rumble software, and yeah, it was user error from before. When I was having trouble uploading something, I never put a title on it, so it didn't stick. But now I just got to figure out how you don't see me right at the beginning, right before the promos. I hit the promo button. Little minor tweaks. But the Rumble software, this new beta stuff, is really great. I'm digging it. Thank you, Rumble, for letting me test this stuff out. Where I'm lost already. Good morning, R. Good to see you, Talit. The one thing I can't do yet, and I checked on this one. I actually asked about this one. Is I cannot type. Hey, Doxy, good to see you. I cannot type in the comments yet. They're going to try and fix that, but everything else seems to work pretty well. So other than that, and I just figured out the video thing, sort of, kind of figured that out. So I feel like I'm a little more dialed in, a little more there. We'll see. Mm-hmm. I'm in LA right now, Glendale, and it's just been raining for 2 days straight. A day and a half, and it stung. I was going to go see NASCAR yesterday. I was going to go see the Clash at the Coliseum. So that was I'd never been to a NASCAR event. I bought the cans. I had the ear protection. I was ready. I had good seats. It was going to be fun. And then the one day I needed it to be sunny. they actually canceled it. I'm glad they canceled it, because if it couldn't be sunny, I don't want to sit there in the rain. I'm getting all wet. Hey, Heidi, good to see you. Yes, that sounds miserable. You can't bring an umbrella, because then you're blocking everybody behind you. They won't let you bring an umbrella. So you just got to sit there and be all wet and soppy, and watching the cars kind of drive slower than they normally would. Just sounds terrible. So I was actually, even though I was mad that they canceled the event, I was also glad that they canceled the event, because I don't want to sit there in the rain. But at this, I wish it had been sunny and I could have checked it out. Now I got to wait again for NASCAR. Dang it. Dag nabbit. Is that a NASCAR term? Maybe. I haven't raced NASCAR, but I've raced around the oval tracks in a race truck because they didn't have any cars. I was like, oh, the NASCAR experience. I'm like, okay, cool. I went up to like Bakersfield or just some, podunk town, Palmdale. I don't remember. And they had like an oval. And then you get in the car and you drive around in circles. But they didn't have any. When I got attacked, it was late. I got there late. They didn't have any more NASCARs, so I got a NASCAR truck, whatever that is. So I was driving trucks around. It's basically the same thing. And then I don't know. I'm not good at I've never driven one of these things. And there's like 2 gears. They go, there's 2 gears, fast and faster. Now, first of all, I don't think that's what the NASCAR drivers are racing. I think they have more than 2 gears in their vehicles. But I think I only had it in fast when I should have had it in faster, and I blew the oil on it. they had to stop everybody. We're like, all right, we're done for the day. But luckily, it was like right near the end. It was like the last couple of laps. So there. So fast and faster. Don't be stuck in fast the whole time. You can blow your oil. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Atlee says, I don't need NASCAR. I know the cops, due to my husband working on their cars. I drive 95. Like, yeah, I mean, the cops know how to, cops got good cars, they know. They get spoiled at work. They got these nice, ungoverned vehicles that fly. The special. I used to work for Ford, and the cop cruisers were great. Those things were rocket ships, and so they get used to that power. And then you're gonna go back to a regular old government regulated sedan. Probably not. Mm-hmm. All right, let's check out what's going on in the news. All right, so starting things off, we're on Fox News here. I hope you all had a good weekend. Yeah, it's still raining out there, but but I'm living with it. I'm hiding in my little chateau. New York City mayor. This is the first one. Hey, Fox News is kind of getting a little New York Posty with the headlines. It says Fendi for yourself. Fendi being a very high end, obviously, brand of I don't know, clothing. New York City mayor, NYC mayor, wears $700 scarf under bulletproof vest as migrants behind violent cop attack roam free. What kind of look is this, mayor? What kind of horse shit look is this? You're a mayor. You want to be, you're in a blue collar city. Look blue collar. All you need, if you had the vest on and you got your little hat on or whatever, everybody knows you're bald, by the way, but you got the vest on. Yeah, you look like, oh, this guy, he's a little rough and tumble. All right. You're not frilly. He's going to get the job done. And then you show up with, I can't, if I have to wear a bulletproof vest, I'm going to need a Fendi scarf. I mean, gee, Mr. Fashionista, give me a break. Or wear your like a scarf your grandmother gave you, and before you go in there, have her give it to you so they know it's that she did. Get something, some kind of positive press. You have no positive press. You're a big crybaby. You go around crying about everything. You cry about the crime. You cry about the migrants. You cry about every single thing, and you do nothing. And all you have to do to fix your city, two things, maybe 3, 4, probably 6 or 7. But the two easiest. Number one, fire big fat Alvin Bragg. That I just did a story. It'll be up on Rumble tonight. It's on jeffahern.com already and some other stuff. Matches his smoking jacket. Mike says, yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. Mayor Adams has a smoking jacket. I do not for a moment. Yeah, Babylon Bee stuff. Exactly. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. Yeah, he definitely has a smoking jacket and slippers. This is a guy who wears like red slip. You're judged by the company you keep, and he keeps crappy company. He's buds, he's bros. He's in a bromance with that crooked pastor. Father Bling or whatever his name was. The guy who got held up during one of his services and robbed of like $500,000 worth of jewelry. He drives around in a Rolls. One of these scumbag, fake holy rollers who just is in it for the money. But it's hard to get upset for them because in order for them to get the money, they have to find people stupid enough to give it to them. And if you see your pastor going around in a Rolls Royce wearing fur coats, Rolex watches, and gold chain, you're a moron. You're obviously a Democrat voter because oh, please let everyone above me, let everyone the government who's acts as your deity. Really, I'm surprised you even go to a church. Your church is the church of Our Lady of government bureaucracy. But they're buds. They're besties. So of course he's got a Fendi scarf on under his. I'm surprised his. He's going out with just a run of the mill bulletproof vest. He should open that up and it's like Yves Saint Laurent. Like at some point he finds some reason to like, oh, this bulletproof vest is hot. I don't think there are any shooters around. I'm just gonna open it up and then open Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know. This is how out of it I am. For when I'm using, oh my God. When I'm using, okay, I'm switching to coffee. Here we go. When I'm using references for high-end labels, I use Yves Saint Laurent, which I think may be dead. I don't know. All right, here we go. Round 2. All right. Do I have a voice? Sort of. Yeah. So, I mean, how about this Marc Jacobs? I feel like, what's a good reference for like a trendy item? Fendi, I guess they used Fendi. Maybe I should have stuck with Fendi. I went with Marc Jacobs. I went with Yves Saint Laurent, and I don't own a Calvin Klein. There you go. This seems a little more trendy. It opens it up and it says Calvin Klein. There we are. He's like, guys, don't forget to pan down on my shoes. They're Rockports. I don't even think Rockport's like that high end of shoe. But I don't know my shoes very well either. I gotta get out more. Looked like last chance body armor. Yeah, I mean, you need this stuff in New York. Handle all these migrants that they're just letting out. So yeah, so getting back to what I was saying before we started insulting the mayor justifiably. 2 things he could do to fix everything. Number 1, fire Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg is worthless. Alvin Bragg has come out on the record basically okaying teeing off on cops even before people were, these migrants, immigrants, illegals, whatever you want to call them, were assaulting these police officers. He was lowering assault charges on cops down from felonies to misdemeanors. Obviously, then you got no cash bail. You got to get rid of no cash bail. So if you do just those 2, you go around Mayor Adams crying about everything, bitching and moaning. Oh, woe is me. Did you see my scarf? Oh, look at these cufflinks. He's such an ass. Oh, my hat. This hat's probably the only thing that isn't designer. But yeah, so he's going around crying, bemoaning the state of New York. You were hired. You were voted into office by morons, granted, but you were voted into office to fix the city, to run the city. You got to stop crying. You got to start working. Pull up your designer shirt sleeves and get to work. Come on, dude. So yeah, two things you could do right away, instant, like crime goes down 50%. I swear to God, it's not. I didn't do any, real mathematics on it. 50% seems, I think, on the low end. You fire big fat Jabba the Gut DA Alvin Bragg. You get rid of him. He's no good to you. He's no good to you. And then you get rid of no cash bail. Bang. Your crime rate drops 50% right off and then you can worry about all the other crap and all the other dopey progressive policies that are destroying your city. But at least you got a good running start, Instead, you're going to sit there and what are you going to, your job. What did they, let's hire a mayor who's just to cry. At least de Blasio didn't blubber like a big baby every time he got in front of a microphone. He would just get up there and be like, yeah, I'm screwing New York up again. So what? See you guys later. Oh, what a jackass. Anyway, quit after firing. Yeah, that's it. That's the mic drop, Talit. You go in there with your little cute scarf and your bulletproof vest, and you go in there and go, hey, everybody, look, I'm a terrible mayor. Not as bad as de Blasio. Nobody is. But I'm a terrible mayor. I just cry about everything. So I'm going to do two things, and then I'm going to leave because the Democrat Party and the Democrat system, systemic racism, by the way, is the purveyance of Democrat systems. And so, anyways, I'm gonna after I do this, I'm gonna quit because I will be a persona non grata here, anyways, because this is very anti-woke. So I'm going to get rid of no cash bail. And I'm gonna fire big fat Alvin Bragg. Ba ba boom. There we go. Thank you. Good night. Drop the mic. He walks off. He leaves New York 50% better than it was when he started. And then as people are like, wow, things are better for that split second when Mayor Adams actually did that one time. He could run again for re-election down the road. Oh, Mayor Crybaby. New York City mayor wears $700 scarf under his vest as migrants behind the violent cop attack roam free. Fendy for yourselves. Yes, exactly. This is a story. I mean, it just seems like a funny title. You got a whole story behind this, Fox? Mayor Adams. Oh, they mentioned Bragg. Not in the banner headline, but immediately after once you click on the story, jackass Bragg. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg under fire. Yeah, as he should be. The guy, he's the worst DA. Chesa Boudin was the worst DA. That was the San Francisco DA. He was so bad, so egregiously awful, so off the charts, unbelievably shit show that I would say the good people of San Francisco, but good's it's an aggressive adjective for San Francisco. But I would say the people of San Francisco were so tired of him, and the crime was so rampant, and it sure hasn't gotten any better. But they got rid of him, and then they replaced him with some other progressive yuts. So I feel like right now, top of the heap for progressive jackass DAs, it got to be Alvin Bragg. I don't know who. There's others, I'm sure, lower key ones, just as stupid, idiotic, and corrupt. The guy. It's like, do you know which side you were hired to be? The district attorney. You're the guy in charge of stopping crime, not pouring fertilizer on it. Do you know your job? But I mean, technically he does, because the people of New York, the dumbasses of New York, elected him to do just that, apparently. What, was he hiding this? Was he like, I'm going to be hard on law and order? No, he's just like, I'm going to let social justice this, blah, 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 that. If you get arrested, you'll be out quicker than a cat. Hey, Alvin Bragg, go. Nonsense. All right, so New York police, they arrested them, these illegal immigrants, and then they, of course, immediately let them go. It's a Venezuelan gang. Oh, there you go. Linked to dozens of robberies, and an assault on NYPD. By the way, they're coming all to California. Hey, see you guys when you get here. It's a little rainy now. Bring ponchos, or just steal them on the way. Now, why would they come to California? Why, of all places, would these? And apparently, they know they're coming here because they got on some bus, some migrant bus to come here, and gave them, I guess, paperwork. I mean, that's how unworried and unconcerned these guys are. They're not even on the run. They're not even running from anything, because they were released on no bail. So them leaving the state is not a crime. You can't even arrest them for that. You could arrest them for other things, but they're not for that. And so, they're so brazen about it. They just basically, this is who I am. Remember me from CNN? Yeah. I'm going to get on this bus. We're going to go to California. So they all coming to California now, making their way across this great nation, stealing and pillaging as they go. Oh my God, it's just crazy. But why would they come to California? The answer is pretty obvious. It's another Democrat asshole. And they wore out their welcome in New York, although they should be in a jail after wearing out their welcome. But they were New York, Alvin Bragg. There you go. And so now they're coming here. Why aren't they going to a Republican state? Because they know if they pulled this kind of BS, if they commit these crimes, if they assaulting cops like really violently, they go to jail and stay there. That's what happens in a place with law and order, with deterrence. And you know what deterrence does? It deters. This is why they're not going to Florida. This is why they're not going to Texas. This is why they're going to California, another loosey-goosey liberal cesspool. Wait, I live here. So one good thing about the rainstorm, it lowers the crime more than the police in California, the heavy rains. Cops aren't allowed to do anything anyway. Dear God. Yes, defend the police for once, Talib. Heck yeah. Let me check out some of the comments as I went off a little bit. But I still, Mike OMG, I still can't get Mayor Adams. I wish he would show up to the press conference in a bulletproof vest, but yes, with a smoking jacket over the vest, and then the like satin jammy pants, and I like red. I just feel like he's a red slipper guy, red silk slippers. This is how you should approach it. I mean, you're already a laughing stock anyways. Why not just get all Hugh Hefner on us? That's the other thing. It's kind of comic. All these women coming out now against Hugh Hefner, and he's just like, he was a monster. And I had to have sex with him. Yeah, you didn't have to do nothing. You chose. You made decisions. You're a grown ass woman, adult, and you chose to sleep with the guy. Basically, you prostituted yourself, and then now you're having regrets after the fact. Wham wham boo hoo. He didn't make you do anything. You don't hold a gun to your head. He gave you like some sex toy and said, all right, put it here. If you don't like it, you got to leave the mansion. You went, okay. Oh, these poor women. All right. Anyway, refund the police. Exactly, Art. Thank you. Let's refund the police. And also is equally important as Roseanne, giving the police back their money. Is you got to give them back the morale. That's the hard part. Like they're trying that in a lot of these cities, a lot of these woke idiots who defunded the police to begin with for votes. The political party that does that, the Democrats. And so now they're like, hey, wait a minute. We made a mistake. We just did it for votes. You all know that. Don't say that out loud. And the minority communities are suffering. We knew they would. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. But we really want to get. All right, I just stopped talking. So they are now increasing salaries in some places to attract more police, but they haven't changed the climate in which the police work, and they don't understand that's actually more important. That's the most important thing, is the climate where the police work. Why, if I wouldn't take a job that paid 20, 30 grand more to be a cop in a city where I knew the city didn't have my back, where they were pro-criminal, where this illusion of money could be taken away from me at any point, because it is an illusion. If you go out and you do your job and you arrest somebody and they resist arrest and they die while going for your gun, you're the bad guy as the cop. You're the criminal. Maybe you go to jail for that. Maybe you lose your pension for that. So all that will happen is you'll just get people who will take advantage of this situation. Cops who are going to, I'll take the extra 30 grand. I wasn't much of a cop over here anyways. I could just as easily be a crappy cop in your city and not do anything. And that's the safest route for them. Just take the money and just sit in the car. And then, oh, look, someone got shot. Everybody gone? Yeah, I'll go over there now. Because they know that the city hall, that the city councils do not have their back. And if anything goes down, they are going to be scapegoated for it, because it's all about votes to the city hall, and it's all about votes to these Democrat politicians. They don't care about minority communities. Look what they've done to them. Yeah, give me a break. Yes, Talib, they absolutely should do that. Fire Bragg. Mike says, and covering the BLM painted in front of Trump. BLM's still around? Oh my God, that's scary. BLM, as you all know, you probably don't. You probably do, because if you listen to this or other sources of news besides the mainstream media, BLM can't even take donations in most states anymore because their finances are that corrupt. But being BLM and because they're protected by the narrative and the mainstream media and the powers that be, no one's ever going to be arrested for it, and they knew that. They had and still have a license to steal, and that's what they did. Hey, BLM, we're support of Black lives. They just don't tell you that the Black lives they support are only upper management. everybody else who they claim, well, we'll get your family money and we'll help you out. We'll help this. No, they're just building real estate portfolios. And then you can here's some crumbs. Shut up about it. But the mainstream media can't cover any of that. And you certainly can't arrest these people. The Coolers, I think the head of, or was the head of BLM. And then there was no one in charge of it for the longest time because no one wanted to go anywhere near it. The finances were so corrupt and crooked, still are. And so is anything going to happen to her? Of course not. She's probably being invited to speak or as a guest lecturer here or there, a professor emeritus here. That the left is beyond mad. That crazy lady from CSUN, the New York University system, I guess, who held a machete to a reporter's neck, a New York Post reporter's neck. She was fired. I couldn't believe they fired her because I'm like, she's just standing up against the man, the police. So she was fired from her job, which again, I'm still shocked by. She started her little piece de resistance by coming up to some nice boys who were, it might have been some chicks in there too, women. And they had a table saying, hey, abortion might not be the best choice for you. And so she went, how dare you? And she went all Jersey Housewives and flipped the table over and, said insulting, derogatory things. And the kids were just like, we just had a table and some chairs here. We're really not. Okay, crazy lady. Now, she wasn't fired for that, right? No. So then a New York Post reporter goes to her apartment and goes like, hey, I got to talk about this crazy thing with you. And she comes out like on cue with a machete. It's like, if you didn't think I was crazy yet, check this out. Comes out, literally puts a machete to his neck. It's all being filmed, by the way. There's cameras everywhere. Yet she's still perfectly comfortable doing it because it's New York City. And this is just, this happens everywhere apparently. And then as the reporter's like, okay. He leaves. Then she chases him out with a machete, starts kicking him. So for that, she got fired. And I joked at the time, it doesn't matter how absurd the joke is, how nonsensical whatever I say or you say is, the Democrats will literally make it policy or do it. So I said, well, you know what? She got fired from this university. I bet you in a couple of weeks, she gets picked up by another university, probably gets a raise. Well, now I don't know if she got a raise, but she did get picked up by another university. Some podunk wannabe woke lefty university wants to up their wokeism, hired her on. And of course, she has since been fired. Well, I say, of course, she has since been fired from that school for, I guess, really anti-Semitic stuff. Oh, I can't believe it. What are the chances? But again, I'm shocked she was fired for anything. I mean, dear God. Goodness gracious. You get to I'm sorry, I'm way behind on all the comments. Grammy says, Talit, I drive 95 like NASCAR and love. Yeah, I mean, here you can't because it's LA and there's just too much traffic. And it's like the few days like that you want to race, like you want or drive fast, you're afraid to because the cops have been like, they know the times when you can get people. And it's not during rush hour. It's not during most of the day. It's like on the weekends, like on a Sunday morning when you really want to let the car go a little bit. That's when they're out with the speed traps because they know that's literally the only time you're going to get up enough speed to clip over the speed limit for the most part. And I live in Glendale, which is just you'd think it was made up if I told you. Like the driving here is so bad. It's so egregious. And it's the Armenians, let's be honest. I'm not allowed to say it. If you're an Armenian, you're like, yeah, it's us. I get it when you're these younger kids, they get the souped up, this is the biggest Armenian community outside of Armenia. And they got a lot of them have a lot of money and they give their kids these souped up, BMW is the car choice, Mercedes. And they're just rocket ships. So these kids are ripping around in these cars. But I understand that they're kids. You gave them a car that has way too much power. You should have eased them into something. But that's not the way. So they rip around, they cause mischief and get in tons of accidents. You're like, okay, I get that. They're young. When you're young, you're stupid, you're invincible. But then this is the crazy part. This is what makes Glendale the worst place to drive. It's not just the young kids. It's their dads. It's their fathers. When you look in a car and some car that just did something insanely crazy or some super nutty move, you expect a young kid, but in Glendale, it's usually like some older Armenian guy, open shirt, just like, bro, how old are you? You're my age. So my insurance rates are astronomical. It's like it's in the top 10, top 5 most expensive places to insure a car is Glendale, California. And in the insurance company's offense, justifiably so. And yet when I got in an accident recently, I just got my car back. It was because a homeless guy smashed his cart into it. It's vandalism. Like, yeah, I'm getting out. I tell you that all the time. Not because of Glendale. Glendale keeps a tight ship. They run a tight ship. The cops, when you do wrong in Glendale, they arrest you. It's the bad with the good. In Glendale, the driving is you're taking your life in your hands. Walking across the street, you got to have a head on a swivel. But on the plus side, one of the safest cities in the country to live because we have really good law enforcement. So that's the trade-off. Now, Burbank, right next door, used to be pretty good. It's like as soon as the Tonight Show left, they said, what's the point anymore? Yeah, who cares? I don't, Jay's gone, or whatever, Jimmy Fallon, who cares? Yeah, so it's a nut house over there. That's where the homeless guy attacked me because the cops don't, they're not doing nothing. They've either given up because they just don't want to deal with it anymore, or more likely the powers that be there, the progressives that have moved into there, aren't allowing them to do their job. So like, all right, we're just going to kill time until I can get out of here and go to some other city that doesn't suck. So it just seems to keep getting worse, and we're starting to get the spillover into Glendale. So it's like, we're already getting the spillover from LA, but at least Burbank would absorb a lot of it. Now Burbank's a part of the problem. Good times. Okay. Yeah, wait till the illegals form a party. It will happen. Well, they have a party. It's the Democrats, Mike. You didn't know that? That's their party. They're the ones who invited everyone over. They're the ones who shut the border down, dropped the walls, and said, hey, come on over, everybody. This is the biggest voter drive in our nation's history, completely illegal. But the Democrats don't care, and they don't care what happens to the migrants any more than they do minorities. They don't care about anybody they claim to represent. All they care about is keeping power. And the best way for them to keep power is to keep people, minorities or immigrants or whatever you want to call them, in poverty, in destitution. So they're reliant on the great savior, government, and that's the whole plan. If people become self-reliant, if people can think on their own, then the Democrats serve no purpose as a party. They're the party of victims. And in order to be the party of victims, you have to have victims. And if you don't have enough of them, you create them or you import them. And even these people who came over who weren't planning on being victims, they're victims because they're going to come in and now they got no jobs, they got no prospects, they got no place to live. Although they're printing money to make that happen. So then inflation goes up, crime goes up. But the left, the Democrats, they don't care. And even their own mayors are now coming down. Mayor Crybaby Adams, who cries about everything, of course, is crying about this too. And even Chicago, the Yuts in Chicago replaced Lori Lightfoot, but it's just as bad. And he's crabbing about because they don't have any room for all these people, and there's just more and more and more every day. And Biden's like, oh, I'm going to get to that. I just, I'm so busy. If I only had the brain, if you only had a brain, if I only had a brain. There you go. Thank you. All right. So Roseanne says, let the police feel that their job matters by keeping the criminals in jail. Well, that's just it. And the cops said that. I didn't put a lot of it in the story because it was just so much of it. I laugh, but it's sad. But in this story I was using, the stories I was using for this, it'll be up on Rumble tonight. It's up on Jeff Ahern now, or it's even on my members page if you're a member. But yeah, the cops they're bemoaning it, and justifiably so. They're saying, what is the point of us? Well, I mean, we're being attacked. We get the bad guys, we put them in jail, and what does they do? They just turn them right. They're showing us how they feel about us. The DA, they're talking about Alvin Bragg, the district attorney, and the politicians in New York. They show it. They show us how they feel by letting these people assault us, victimize us, if you will, and then brutally attack. And then they let them right out. No, not even any bail. Then they're off. They're out. How that's insane to me. It's crazy. That'd be like you work in an office and Clark comes in. And Clark's kind of a dick, and he always walks by your desk. And then one day when he walks by your desk, he just punches you right in the face. And you go to HR, and you're like, Clark just gave me a black eye. He hit me in the face. They're like, oh yeah, that's awful. So they go, Clark, come here. And they talk to, they go, hey, Clark. And they see Clark go right back to his desk. You're like, what happened? Like, oh, we talked to him. We'll get to it. We're actually moving his desk closer to yours. Why you have such a punchable face? Yep, that's it, Mike. They live in their gated mansions. The elites. They live in their ivory towers. They live in their gated communities. And the follow home robberies are actually a blessing in disguise, because now the criminals, they're running out of soft targets, and around them. People don't leave the house. They see it coming. They're hip, get a little more awareness. And so they're like, well, how can we score bigger? How can we get more money? Oh, let's do some follow homes. So they go to like higher end places. They follow, is like surveillance, basically, and then they follow people home, and then they attack them in their homes, and they steal things from their homes. And they, and that's sadly the only way this changes, because these liberal elites, these generally white liberal elites who vote Democrat constantly, are like, oh, I'm such a good person. Meanwhile, they're destroying the communities they claim to care about through their jackass votes. Will now start becoming the victims of this crime, and are becoming the victims of this crime. And suddenly it matters. Suddenly it matters that the guy who just beat you down for your Rolexes was out on no cash bail. Suddenly it matters, because it's affecting you directly now, you moron. Or something worse, you get raped, or someone in your family gets murdered, or someone's attacked, falls down, and the ambulance never shows because the 911 response times are off the charts. You finally are becoming, and not quick enough for my liking, you're finally becoming a victim of your own votes, of your own progressivism. And only then will it change. And even then, it's still going to be at a snail's pace. Jackasses. Talib says, go put something on the back of your vehicle to show you support, to show your support. I get police thanking me all the time for having that. We have to let them know everyone's against, not everyone's against them. Well, here's the only issue with that, and I don't have a problem with it, but depending on where you park, that's like if around here where I live, it's fine. But if I go to, let's say I got to drive to LA, the lawless LA, and I got I love the cops bumper sticker. Oh, what do you think? What's going to happen to that car? How long? Say I got to go to Venice, or I don't know, just any place but where I live. How long is that car lasted before it gets vandalized, smashed, tires slashed? This is what we're dealing with. No appreciation for law enforcement, because it's been not through their own thought, not through anything conclusions that they came to on their own, all created, manifested for them by a corrupt media, run by a corrupt party. Everything that they think is their own thought isn't. It's been crafted and created and revised again until it comes out as some media attack or smear piece on cops or this or that. And so they wind up thinking that they have their own thoughts and ideas, and these are their own thoughts and ideas, when they're not. They're just whatever the media has been feeding to them. Their politicians have been feeding to them in unison, in order to get them to a predetermined condition. They funnel them down. They give them information, bounce them around, so they pop out the bottom and go, I'm going to vote Democrat again. Oh, it's just crazy. Yes. So let the police do their job. Keeping criminals jail, 100%. Mike says that is what made a lot of the cops. Yeah, a lot of the cops have quit because they feel and are disrespected by the communities that they are there to police, and really there to help, there to serve. And yet the members of that community hate them almost as much as the criminals do. It's just, and yet the people in these communities are then victimized by the criminals. It's like, whose side are you on? How stupid can you be? Like, how do you not see this? But again, it goes back to that point. They've been brainwashed. That they're their own leaders. They're political muckety mucks in the local community organizers. It's all part of the process, man. Because that community organizer, they don't move up the ranks unless they can create a groundswell of support for themselves. Well, how do you do that? Well, you become the champion of the people. Well, how do you become the champion of the people? Well, the easiest way is to convince them they're all victims and that you're their savior. Like, I'll take care of this. You guys don't have a chance without me. But I'm gonna make stuff happen. I'm gonna fix these cops. Well, are the cops going into the minority communities and killing each other or killing everybody? No, it's black on black crime. But that's never even mentioned. But there's the game is so good and so slick. No one even wakes up to that. I don't know how you do that. It's a feat of magic. It's Doug Henning-esque. Doug Henning. I'm using obscure references nobody but old people know. Doug Henning. David Copperfield, right? It's probably a better one. Doug Henning, I don't know. Maybe not the best choice. 19.5, good to see you. Nothing says equality and tolerance like a machete to your throat. Yeah, this is the left. It's like everyone needs freedom. We're all, whatever they say they're for, they're 100% diametrically opposed to. Free speech, they could not be more opposed to free speech. We all know that. You look at any social media network, Twitter before it became X even, and you couldn't say anything that was against the narrative, that was counter to whatever the political talking points were, or you would be canceled, you would be algorithmed out of existence, you would be besmirched if you had enough of a reach. If you're not big enough that they can't just cancel you, then they character assassinate you. They come up with stuff to discredit you. Not your viewpoint, but you, the person, like, oh, look at this. This is a vile individual. Pay no attention to what what they're actually saying to you is completely truthful and honest. And again, the spoon, cereal eating left is like, okay, more of that. Okay, what do you want? What do we? It's near impossible to figure out how to make people understand when they have a wall, like that comes down every time common sense gets anywhere near them. It's a fight or flight response. They have the common sense. It's like it's a tsunami. Oh my God. Mike says, once I was on a job and they were firing my buddy. Oh no. Yeah. They were firing my buddy. I was riding with, so they just fired me too. Okay. It's like, oh, this guy? Yeah. You're probably, let's get rid of you too. Jeez, man, that's a little rough. I think you might have a case there, Mike. Sounds like some nonsense. Oh, that's awful. Fun guy 85 says, my friend's family was kicked off of the Real Housewives of Utah for saying black people are more against Asians than any other race. They're Vietnamese. Well, I mean, I feel like I know it's one of those things you can't say it, but it's obviously, I mean, it's true. There's always been that animosity. I think it goes back to the Vietnamese or the Asians just in general. And they're right up there with whites in terms of acceptable racism right now. Asians and whites. So it's game on if you want to be racist against either of us. Sorry, Asians, you're in the club. Yeah. We didn't want to drag you in. We didn't even drag you in. They just threw you in with us. And so the Democrat Party has greenlit it. And you see it in the schools. You see it in Harvard, in which they just sued because of these affirmative action policies, which essentially say these Asian kids who work their butts off, who try hard and do well and succeed at extremely high levels and have these amazing test scores, were not getting into schools, and lower qualified candidates, minority candidates, were taking spots from them because the schools viewed themselves as having too many Asians. Yeah, there's too many Asians, so let's be racist against them and not let any more in. That's what happens when you get rid of merit. And you're seeing it in schools in San Francisco where they're getting rid of, again, you have a very high Asian population in San Francisco, where you're getting rid of AP courses so the dummies don't feel bad for being so stupid. You want people to aspire to be better, not give everyone who's doing really well, just say, yeah, you're idiots. You just come down here with the rest of the riffraff. What are you wasting your time up there for? We're just going to pull your courses away. And so Asians are right in the mix there in terms of acceptable racism, with right along with whites, because what Asians do, and this is what the Democrats can't stand. It's what they can't allow. It's why they greenlit the racism on Asians, is they show that just because you're a minority doesn't mean you can't do extremely well in this country. It doesn't mean you can't, with hard work and drive and determination. And number one, if you refuse to accept that you're a victim. Asians they're not going around, I'm a victim. They're like, yeah, you guys are dumb. Like, I'm smarter than you. Why? Is it just because they just show up at school and they're just smarter and they're just sitting there like smart? No, it's because they put in the work. Some Asian kid, if like 10 Asian kids and my kid are going for a scholarship and 10 Asian kids get it, my kid doesn't get it. I'm not gonna be like, it's because I'm white. My kid's white and didn't get it. He should get it. And there's too many Asians. How racist would that be? Yet that's the entire Democrat platform. And so I would say to myself, I would say, well, what were the scores? They'd be like, well, they all had higher scores and they did better on all the tests. And I'd be like, oh, well, okay. And I would that would be it, because it's about merit. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a victim. Where's a party for me? So yeah, they've been greenlit. The Asian community has been greenlit, and as with the whites, we've been greenlit for a long time. Us colonialists, us dirty white folk. By the way, I'm a minority. Maybe I should be a Democrat. I'm a minority. I'm a minority in California, not in California, in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area. There are more Latinos here, and I love the Latinos, by the way. My girlfriend's Mexican, and they are the majority in this area. So technically, I'm a minority. So look, I should go. I'm being oppressed. Why? Because there's less of me than some other group. This is stupidity. I'm a victim now. Where's my reparation money? And I don't blame people for African Americans for being like, yeah, let's have reparations. If you're gonna find someone, a party, stupid enough, say the Democrats, obviously, who's like, hey, okay, we're buying votes again, everybody. We're buying votes. If you didn't have student loans, we couldn't buy your vote that way. We're gonna buy them because we know your communities are a mess and it's our fault. We know that. Boy, yeah, shouldn't have defined the police. Anyway, we're gonna try and buy back your votes again. We're gonna get your reparations. Never mind that California was never even a slave state. It's just so crazy to me. We weren't even a slave state. Like, yeah, we're getting a reparations committee going. Yeah, we're going to make it happen. Newsom here. We're going to make that happen. So if you're just there and you're like, well, someone's going to give me free money, I'll take it. I was to say, I'm like, okay, well, if they're giving out free money, I'm going to do. Well, I had already done it, but I'm like, if I had any African American in me, I'd be like, okay, well, I want my cut. Just giving out money for nothing. So yes. Tilly says, I don't fear death. I've gotten a ticket. You haven't gotten a ticket in over 25 years. Damn. That's good. Now, the last ticket, I don't want to jinx it because, as soon as you this is me. As soon as I don't have a ticket, then I get a ticket. But the last ticket I got, I hate even saying it because I'm worried I'll get another, was in El Centro, California. Not a nice place. It's a dump. It's a bit of a dump. Sorry, El Centro. You're a bit of a dump. It's between kind of, if you were going to San Diego and you went east and you were kind of sort of heading to Phoenix, it's along the 10 and it's wide open. I mean, it's just, there's nothing between it really. So you're going to step on the gas. It's pretty flat, a couple curves here and there, at least one or two for the cops to get you. And they don't have any money, these police departments down there. There's really no businesses down there, so to speak. So they're making the money off tickets. So they just sit there and wait for, the next business traveler to roll by or somebody coming by and then tink. And I remember I went down there. I was doing an 80 and a 65, or I don't know, something 85 and a 60 or something like that. So I get my ticket. I'm like, oh, man, come on. So then I'm like, okay, you know what? I think I'll just light it up from now till I get to San Diego. Because what are the chances of like some other cop being, on this stretch? I just got dinged, right? So I'm driving for like 10 minutes. I'm like, maybe I'll start putting my foot on the gas again. And I started to, and then I pulled back. I'm like, nah, dude, don't push it. And sure enough, like maybe 5 minutes down the road, there was another cop waiting to give me if I had been speeding, about to give me another ticket. I'm like, you mother effers, man. I would have had 2 tickets in the same day. I remember once I got my wife and I got a ticket. We were driving together, 2 different cars. I was working in the automotive industry. She was also at the time. And we were driving 2 different Fords or something. We're driving and I'm speeding and she's speeding because she's keeping up. And so I get a ticket. And then he also gave her a ticket because she stopped behind me because you were speeding too. This little cop, he's like a little munchkin. He had to like almost jump up so we could see him over the window, but he still had his ticket book none the same. So Talitza says you live in the woods in Virginia. Oh, okay, yeah. So they're not. Everybody knows each other. No one's going to give anybody tickets. Everyone has guns and rarely crime in my. Yeah, because everyone's got guns. Everybody knows each other. It's deterrence. That's exactly what that is. It's deterrence. Mike says the Central Valley is filled with illegals. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyone with place bets how long the New York City mayor will before he checks in the ER with a panic attack? Did the Chicago mayor do that? I didn't know that. I feel like Mayor Adams is one perpetual panic attack. Like I feel like it never ends. Like we just watch him in one panic attack after the next. All right, let me. I'm way behind. All right. Oh my goodness. I stood up. Family Guy 85 says I stood up to racism when my son was shot at in Utah of all places. I would have never considered race if I weren't just after the BLM shit. Yeah, I mean that was again the narrative. Like if you were a white person and you're attacked by an African American or or Muslim, it's like, oh, it's just a coincidence, just two people getting angry at each other. But anytime there's like a white dude involved in the races, any other than white or Asian, sorry, Asians, again, you're in the club. That's a hate crime. It's just pick and choose, just to pick and choose for them. All right, let's check out what else is going on here. What do we got? Okay, more Eric Adams. Oh, dear God. Mayor Adams' remarks amid outrage over the migrant. It's all just flapping lips. It's all just lip service. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. Oh, we're so upset. Oh, this is outrageous. All cops, we really love you. They know you don't. Everything you do shows them that you don't. From defunding them in the first place to villainizing them at the same time, to what you're seeing now. You don't care about them, and they know you don't care about them, and they're all coming out and saying it. It's not a secret. They all know that you do not have their backs. They all know that you will sell them down the river in a heartbeat for votes, and they're 100% right in that assertion and assumption. If you really like the cops, if you really want them to feel good, you need to take a stand, Mayor Adams. You need to do something to prove it. You have to prove your love, Mayor Adams. You have to prove your love. You need to fire D.A. Alvin Bragg today. You go and you go, listen, I've had it. I want the cops to feel respected. I know you don't feel respected. And to prove to you how much I respect you. Look at this beautiful tie. Sorry, doing my Mayor Adams. To prove how much I love you, I'm going to fire Mayor Adams. I'm going to quit. That could be good too. But first, fire Alvin Bragg, and then be like, okay, and I'm getting rid of no cash bail. Then the cops will be like, finally, this is a legitimate change. It's not just a flappy of the gums, and I'm gonna, I really care about you guys when I don't, obviously. But no, Mayor Adams, he's a flim flam. He's a cellophane. There's nothing to him. There's no substance. He just goes around, cries over here, cries over there, cries. You were put in your job to fix things, and you fixed nothing. You fixed nothing. All you fixed is a bag of you fixed nothing. All right. Musk throws down the gauntlet, claims Biden has a secret plot to maintain political dominance. Of course he does. It's not a secret. None of this is a secret. It's all out in the open. You have a corrupt media who basically get their scripts, their nightly scripts or news scripts from the Democrat Party, from the DNC, from the Biden administration. They promote the narrative. They punish anyone who goes out on a limb against it, even within their own news organizations. Like the Times is notorious for that. If something doesn't ring lefty enough and enough woke lefties, which is like 2 or 3 complain about it, then they change the headline. It's absurd. Oh God. Therapist quits hospital and blows whistle on ex-employer for pushing teen gender transitions. Again, it's just more leftist madness. More, it's normalized at this point. All this leftist horse crap. So basically, this Washington therapist quit her job to blow the whistle on the hospital, pushing gender transitions on young patients. So what's I read the story already a little bit. So what was going on was the kids would come in and have like general confusion. They're kids. They're confused, 10 hours out of 10, 24 hours out of 24. Oh, they sleep sometime. But they're coming in like, I don't know. I was attracted to this or that. So what they do is immediately what the hospital demanded that they do, and this is why she was fired or she quit and blew the whistle, was that they just affirm immediately that they are transgender, and then you start the paperwork on the surgeries and the hormones. And I've seen Jordan Peterson a couple times, but he brought up a really good point. But again, the left is just so BS, batshit crazy. That they don't care. So you have a situation now where psychologists, therapists, people like that, who when they have someone come in and they say, "Hey, I'm a kid. Hey, I'm 8, I'm 9, I'm 10, I'm 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. And I think I might be a transgender. I think I'm transgender." And then they have to go, "Yes, you are transgender. And here's what you need to, here's the paperwork." That's not what you're supposed to do as a therapist. You don't affirm immediately without any probing what the patient tells you. It'd be like me coming in and going to a therapist, a psychologist, going, "Listen, I know it's going to sound weird, but I'm Jesus Christ. I'm Jesus. I had a vision last night, and boy, oh yeah, I'm the Son of God." And they would then be like, "Yes, yeah, you are the Son of God. Let me get you some sandals and a robe, and you go out and proselytize or speak the word of the Lord. And yeah, you're Jesus. All right. Have a great day. Have a great day. I'll send you some robes and sandals. Okay. Okay. No, they would be like, no, there would be a process. I would be questioned. I would be probed. They would try to make me see that perhaps this was not actually reality. They would do some basic work. But yet when you come in, you're like, I think I'm trans. Okay, you're trans. Okay, we're getting, you're not a thing. You have to go to school. Why would you have to go to a school to be a therapist or a psychiatrist or psychologist if your only job when someone comes in like that is just go, okay, yeah, here's the paperwork. I think you could hire someone. You could have saved yourself 4 to 8 years of school if you're just going to nod there and go, okay, sure, yeah, you're Jesus. Sure, yeah, you're trans. Sure, yeah, you're Napoleon. Here's some papers to codify that. It's nuts. Don't make no sense. Uh, Jeff, yeah, fun guy. Yeah, I'm not Jesus. But if I go in as trans Jesus, then like I could go to a psychiatry department or a liberal psychologist, and I could be like, hey, I'm Jesus. They'd be like, listen, dude, you're not Jesus, okay? I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I'm trans Jesus. Oh, okay, yeah, you probably are. Trans wipes away all sins, pretty much. All right. Lisa's Walsh or Knowles just showed a public medication price a piece showing 81% of transgenders suffer from personality, mental, if you ask me, disorder. 100%. Over 50% of narcissists. Oh God, I would think it would be more. The narcissism and the transgender movement are linked tightly because it's all about uniqueness and I'm special and I'm different from everybody else. But the irony is this is what will bring down the transgender movement. So you've got all these people like, I'm so unique. This is my pronoun. It's not like a regular pronoun. This is my sexual orientation. It's not like a regular sexual orientation. And I'm so special, everybody. Look at my Instagram page and all these special, unique things I do with my unique, special sexuality and preferences and pronouns. I'm so special. And that's their whole thing. It's born of narcissism. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the only one like this. I created my own gender, and you have to respect it, or you get fired. But what will happen, as with all things, is the market gets saturated. If everybody is trans this and trans that, and this pronoun and that pronoun, eventually it's so much. It's such a flood of narcissism and of the same variety that it equalizes and it becomes nothing. I'm trans is like there's no response anymore to it. There's no but I'm trans. You're not reacting like, don't you know how special and unique I am? It's like, no, Frank's trans and Harry's trans. Like 5 out of the 10 people are trans. Like, how am I going to be unique? Well, to be unique, you're going to have to go back to being a straight white dude. We're the special ones now. We're the more unique, It's just like it's all born absolutely, Toledo, of narcissism, 100%. Yeah, that's very true, Mike. The narcissism stuff has absolutely replaced the desire to do better. Yeah, it used to be, get accolades. Well, because it's harder, right? How much harder is it to create something, to do better, to be the best in your field, to really stand out based on merit? It's not easy. It's difficult. It's hard work. But to just be like, oh, I'm a transsexual and I like frogs in dresses, and that's pretty easy. There, I'm done. Now let me post it to Instagram. My work here is done. Somebody give me a job in government. Seems way easier than having to lead show by example that you can lead others and create an effective environment for others to learn in or grow in. I'm just trans this, trans that. I wear a dress. I like frogs. Okay. And I joke, but everything you joke about in this day and age is generally speaking true in terms of someone on the left has already done it. So I guarantee there is a subsexuality somewhere where it's a transsexuality that involves frogs or amphibians. I guarantee it. That you can't come up with. This is the world we live in. There's nothing I could say that is so absurd, so made up and farcical that someone on the left doesn't actually embrace it as real. and as their identity. So yeah, so good for her for quitting, and good for her for also sticking to the hospital. Not that it'll matter. The breakfast snub. All right, so CNN, it's a disaster. It's an S show over there at CNN. Okay, hold on. 19.5 says, want to hear something weird? Absolutely. 19.5. You have several black buddies, and one of them named his son Messiah. Really? That's common now? All right. It seems to be common in the black community. Messiah. That's cruel, really. You're gonna call your kid Messiah. That's a lot to live up to. Kids have a hard enough time as it is. And then you're gonna make him Messiah. Oh, that's quite the moniker. It's not like the Latino communities, like where it's like Jesus, Jesus. It's very common, but it's so common that it takes all the weight off it. Like if no one was named Jesus or Jesus, and your name's Jesus, and it was like, what's your name? And you're like Jesus, and everyone's like, whoa, okay, there, big guy. But if everyone's named Jesus, it's like, oh, okay, hey, Jesus, oh, okay, yeah, that's common. But that goes back to my other point about this whole transgender thing. Like at first, like, oh, I'm trans. Oh, okay, all right, trans. But then, oh, he's trans, she's trans, they're trans. So it's like, oh, okay. It becomes ubiquitous, and it becomes almost meaningless. It's not that the name is meaningless, but it doesn't have the when you say Jesus, it doesn't mean Jesus. It doesn't, Jesus, like son of God, like, oh, just a guy, some dude named Jesus. But Messiah, that's still like, oh, it's again, and it's nothing for the kid. It does nothing for the child except make their life miserable, except them have let's say a impossible to meet standard of what they must accomplish in life to justify their name Messiah. Just call me M. That's what my new name. But and yet the arrogance of the parents, the narcissism of the parents is like, look how religious, or look at us. We named our kid Messiah. And they're different names, but it's symptomatic of the same problem. Narcissistic douchebag parents. You look at Gwyneth Paltrow. What does she name her kid? Apple. Same general thing as Messiah. Both just, you're screwing your kid over for your own in the moment narcissism. Look, I'm so special and unique. I'm not trans, but I named my kid Apple. Oh, and my candles smell like my vagina. Oh, what the hell's the matter with the world? CNN axes Chris Lick's cursed morning show after top anchors exit. Chris Lick, I don't know much about him, but he had no chance. It's glorious. It's really glorious what's going on at CNN. They cannot right themselves because they will not right themselves. They refuse to fix all the problems. And the problem, again, it's like New York City. The problem's right in front of your face. It take a couple seconds to fix, and you'd be right as rain, or at least on the right path. In New York's case, fire Alvin Bragg, get rid of no cash bail. Boom, you're on your way to success if you just do that, just to start. At CNN, I'm sorry, CNN, the solution is you got to lose the leftist narrative, and you'll never lose it. You'll never get rid of it. It's too entrenched. Everybody in there loves it. And your ratings keep going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. So you hire this guy, Chris Lick, to kind of sort of maybe finesse it a little bit to try and get you back into covering actual news just slightly. But it was so abhorrent to everyone who worked at the network that he had no chance. And so they're getting rid of his little show here that was never really, I think what he imagined it to be, which was actual news. And so again, right down the cliff, right over the edge. And you deserve it, you smug, narcissistic, liberal hacks. Yeah, I'm sure whatever news show you put on in its place, it'll be great. It's got nothing to do with the show. It's, the personalities, the anchors, okay, you can make a case for that, but it has to do with the content. And even your content is so egregiously false, so pandering to the leftist narrative that even leftists are like, ugh, enough. Easy. Help us. Goodness. All right, 19.5. I'm already lost again. It's a trifecta of narcissism. It really is. What we got, it's the damn phones, man. You could be a narcissist in the old days, but you were a low-key narcissist. Now everyone's just like, ah. It's a trifecta of narcissism. You're getting shortened in life. It's somebody else's fault. And who do I get it from? Yeah. So everything, everyone else it's all about you. Everything is about you. You're right. You're right there, 19. Uh, Everything is about you. So obviously, if something goes wrong or something doesn't go your way or someone cuts you off in traffic or whatever happens, it's an affront to you. It's an assault on you. Nothing can be coincidental. Nothing can just have actually no meaning. Which sometimes somebody cuts you off in traffic. Sometimes it could be on purpose, but 9 times out of 10, it's just they didn't see you or they're moving in. They don't know who you are. They don't know your backstory. They don't care if you're trans. They don't care what job you work. They just want to get into the damn lane. It was it's all just a minor example, but it goes back to that narcissism. I've been trying to do this inner work. It's not easy, but I feel like the biggest sign that it's working is in traffic. I'm pretty chill. I used to be. I was how dare you? Angry at everybody. Now I'm just like, okay. Once in a while, I snap still. I remember the funniest thing. I mean, it took a while. This didn't happen at this one, but I started down the path, if you will. But I remember I was driving, screaming at someone in front of me for God knows what, something stupid. Cut me off, probably cut me off. Cut me off. And my son's in the car. My son, because he's just this pure, wonderful being. I think he was like 6 or 7 at the time. He just says from the back, goes, just Daddy, you should forgive him. I'm just like, all right, I'll forgive him. I don't want to. For the mouth of babes, just that innocence. Like, what am I doing? Screaming at some guy in front of me for nothing. Oh man. Fun guy 85 says unvaccinated straight white males. Oh my God, that's that. I'm in California. I'm getting the tingles, the shivers. Unvaccinated straight white males aren't as bad as the media and left make us out to be. We're monsters. We're practically colonialists. We have free will. They haven't stripped us of our free will or our desire to keep and hold dear our freedoms. We're not the lemmings of the left. Yeah, of course they hate us. Yeah, that's about as bad a thing as you could be. Heidi says participation trophies were the same sort of dysfunction. Yeah, it's like the beginning of the end, so to speak. The participant trophies were the end of schools, really. In my mind, public school systems. Yeah, it's a bit much. No, it was the start. It was the slippery slope, right? So you're like, okay, you got every kid to not feel bad. There's no winners, there's no losers. Everybody gets a medal. There's no first, second, third. It's just you all get the same dopey medal. And so you water down sports, and so they said, oh well, that worked. For sports, it didn't. It destroyed them in most situations, in most cases. But then once you water down all that, the sports, well, why not start letting just guys in anyway, right? Although technically, once you get out of grade school, there's still for some reason it's okay in grade school and even was it high school? Yeah, high school is doing it too. But when you get to the collegiate level, there's still first and second, at least for now. Unfortunately, it's all taken by men generally in the women's categories. But what happened was also in going back to the grade schools is once you've done that to sports, you're like, well, okay, now it slowly seeps and oozes its way into academia. So now it doesn't matter if you fail something or how stupid you are, you're just automatically going to get moved up to the next grade because we'd rather you not feel bad and graduate into a life of poverty than point out that you need to do some more work if you want to succeed. The whole point of school is so you can succeed in life. I mean, that's not the point of school. That's the idealized point of school. The idealized point of school is you go to school so you can get a good education, so you can live a productive and happy and prosperous life. That's the goal. That's how it's written on paper. The reality is it's an indoctrination academy where the dumb kids now rule the roost, and those who do too well are looked down on by the academic staff, and they pull their AP classes, or they drag them down to the level of the lowest student, who they now can no longer suspend, who creates disruptions in the class, and so everybody's education suffers. And then you get rid of classes, time for English and math, and replace it with things like CRT. And so you're now finding who these kids are supposed to blame for their crappy education and their crappy lives when they get out of school, and just poured into the vat of poverty. And so this is the reality of the situation. A murky, watered down, poorly educated society that's guaranteed to feel like a victim because you told them they are throughout their entire lives, especially with all the CRT horse crap. And then they'll vote for your dopey party, and the society be damned. That's where we're at. Oh my God. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's absurd. It's just absurd. I think for me, that was the beginning of the end. I remember, I mean, it was a long time ago, this whole participant, and now no one really talks about the participant medal trophies in sports, because we got bigger fish to fry. It's like, that's academia. Participant medal sports led to participant medal educations, which leads to a participant medal life. That I've said that often, and I feel like a participant medal life is setting the bar high. It's a crap life. If you view yourself as a victim, and you think that's all you'll ever be, and you have to vote for the Democrats because they're your only savior, you're screwed. Your life is misery. You're an angry, woke Democrat looking around to be offended. You're always mad, and you're gritting your teeth. You probably got an ulcer. Everything's everybody else's fault. You have no personal motivation because you think that the deck's stacked against you. It's just kind of ways that to live, the Democrat way. All right, more trouble for Biden. Wait. Let me roll back. Texas Abbott, and I've been talking a lot about Mayor Adams, crybaby Adams. Texas Governor Abbott, who I like, rips Mayor Adams' plan to give migrants. Oh yeah. This is more of this dumb. Oh my God, I forgot about this. So so Mayor Adams, in his wisdom, like, oh, I'm so upset. Stop sending migrants, please. What does he do? He convinces any migrant not currently on a bus or on their way to New York to reroute and spin the car around and head right towards New York City. Why? He's giving out $1,000 prepaid credit cards to anyone who can cross the finish line, get across the state line into the city, right? So now you go to New York, here's $1,000 just for coming. No one else has offered $1,000. How are we going to get rid of this crazy madness, all these migrants and illegals coming into New York City? I know. Let's offer them more of an incentive to come. $1,000 cards, prepaid cards. It's so stupid. Oh, my God. Yeah, so Adams rightly rips Mayor Adams' plan to give migrants prepaid credit cards is insanity. It is. That's the left. The left is just, you look at it and you just want to pull your hair out. It's just so crazy. And then Mayor Adams, who's complaining about this constantly, complaining to Biden so much that Biden decided to launch an investigation into some of his campaign stuff, because he was talking, don't come down on Biden, or I'll sick the dogs on you. And now he's giving out $1,000 prepaid, which is going to have the obviously, as with all Democrat policies, the opposite intended impact, as stated. What there's chicanery going on, but if the stated policy is this is going to help migrants, it's going to make their lives worse. Why? Because if more migrants are going to come in to get the $1,000, the money becomes less valuable because you're just printing it. And this money, I believe, came from the COVID relief fund, the slush fund. Oh my God, just crazy. Oh my God, look at all the comments I've missed. I'm slack. This is new. I'm using the Rumble beta right now, and I like it. I'm getting used to it, but I'm still not 100% how to work it. All right, let me see. Where was I? I'm gonna try and catch some of these. All right. Anti-bullying. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Catch up. Fun guy says the anti-bullying push didn't help either. Well, I mean, I'm fine with getting rid of bullies, but they don't get rid. There's no punishment. How are you going to get rid of bullies when there's no punishment for bullying? If someone's a bully, you suspend them, and they won't suspend anybody. So, is it not socially just to suspend that kid? Really? I don't know, but you just suspend him because he's a bad apple. Nope. Okay, then stop your whining. All the media is praying Trump wins again. Then they can go on their orange man back. Yeah, that's the thing, Talib. The one thing that can save the liberal media from just complete destruction, because their ratings are in the toilet. Nobody watches them. Their savior, and yet their nemesis at the same time, is Donald Trump. Because if Trump wins, if Trump is allowed to run, and he wins, they will finally have their pinata back. And day one, they can start let's smack Trump, and all their liberal voters will line up again in front of the television sets for the daily haranguing of Trump, the tarring and the feathering of Trump. And they will be, oh, good. CNN's good again. He is their savior, their nemesis. And if he, by some chance, is pulled off the ballot illegally, which is what they're going for, their networks won't exist in 4 years, or will be a skeleton crew of what they were. They'll be an online website, CNN. Remember when CNN tried to do their, what was it, the CNN Plus, and spend all this money on it for a subscription service of CNN, but no one wants to watch the damn thing for free. If they ever pull CNN out of the airports, where they're mandatory for some reason on the TVs, the ratings would be even more worse than they are already. I mean, that's where they get most of the ratings. Anyway, okay. Mike says you saw Judge Joe Brown clip of history he lived through with Joe Biden on Truth Social Media. How do we let the POS get elected? Yeah, I mean, well, it's suspect, right? I mean, it's pretty suspect. It's very suspect how he got elected. Let's call it like it is. Talib says, I purposely cut people off when they're going slow in the left lane. Come on, Talib. You're supposed to be, you're like into animals, and you're all, your kindness and goodness. And don't you live in a small town? You can't be cutting people off in a small town, bro. You'll see him again. There'll be a church. My uncle gave me great advice. He lived in a small town in Wisconsin. And he said, never, ever give the finger to someone in a small town. You will see them again. I was like, that's some good advice, Uncle Tom. Roseanne says, your son was smart at a young age. He really is. He's smarter than me, 100%. I'll bet he's smart today about life and moving. Yeah, I think so too. I still haven't hit it with him yet, but with that conversation. But it's coming. I see the writing on the wall here. I mean, it's been on here for a long time. I kind of just want to sell the house and get out, or at least be ready to exit, before Newsom. I mean, what's next for me? I figure like the next thing for Newsom, because there's no money in the state. He just prints it like like it's no big deal. With all the bond measures and this and that and the taxes, and then every illegal now can get free health care, which I don't know how that's getting paid for, but and to add just more craziness to it, that includes trans surgeries. So like if you're like an illegal and you want to become a woman, or vice versa, whatever, you just come on down here, show up at the hospital door. They'll put one on or lop one off. You tell them. Oh, goodness gracious. Heidi, you were what? You used to drive a semi cross country? No way. Oh, that's crazy. Wow. He had severe road rage. I didn't understand why I was so calm. I explained it's a game. If I get through my shift without an accident or incident, I win. Yeah, exactly, Heidi. Yeah, it's like the truck drivers getting nutty, they got big rigs. You got to be, you don't want to upset the truck drivers. I ride a motorcycle, so I'm not on that bike. I see some motorcyclists, they get it all like testy with cars, and he's like, you're an idiot. If that guy snaps or that woman ever snaps, you're dead. I'm on a bike. I'm very respectful of the motors around me. Goodness. Oh my God. Yeah. Mike's right about that. Almost most kids in high school today are 50% literate. Yeah. And you go to the inner city schools, it's like 0%. And I'm not trying to be funny. That's like the test scores I'm going off of. Was it Baltimore, Chicago? I think in 42 schools, no one tested proficient in either English or math. It was crazy. And all these, these are all these inner city schools are getting billions of dollars in money. But there's nothing being taught to them outside of hating white people, basically, for their future poverty, which was basically guaranteed by the school system run by Democrats, which they want you to be poor. They want you in poverty. You're not going to vote for them. It's like, how many success stories do you need to see in the African American community to know you can achieve anything? You can do anything you want. If you're like, oh no, I can't, I'm a victim. Well, then it's too late for you, isn't it? If you think you're a victim, you're a victim. You're a victim of yourself and a party that does not care about you. That's what you are. So yeah. That does not surprise me. And you say that they can't pick their location on a globe. There's a guy who does it. I can't remember his name, and you may or may not have seen him, but his whole shtick, and he does very well, as he should, is to go up to people and just ask them simple questions. And they're always younger, just dumb kids, like, like, I won't say kids even. They're like in the like late teens, early 20s. Like, it's at an age where like you should really know this. Like, who did we fight the Spanish American War against? Or how many, if you have 100 and you subtract 2, what do you have left? I mean, things just, you're like, come on. And they always seem to get the wrong answers. Obviously, that's what they show on these things. They're not going to show the right answers, but you're like, oh my God, this is out there. And he always goes, no matter what they say, he goes, yes. Which is my favorite part. No matter how wrong the answer is, how absurd the answer is, when they're done and they look at him, he goes, yes. It's like, no. But that's the shtick. If he just said no, or he gave him the right answer, it wouldn't be as funny. The thing that makes it, and I think just took him to like a level that the others who do this kind of stuff aren't at, it's just that yes. You laugh, but you want to cry because they're all graduates, right? They graduated a high school, maybe not a college, maybe, who the hell knows, liberal school. And you're just like, holy cow, we are so screwed. Oh my God. All right. Roseanne says, how many citizens have taken in illegal into their home? None, really. I mean, they're trying to do that in some states. They're like, hey, listen, we got no more room for anyone. Can y'all just take them in? They should. I think if you vote Democrat and you're in a sanctuary city and you voted for people who made it a sanctuary city, it's your moral obligation to take in as many as you can fit. That's just you don't want to do that? You don't want that kind of skin in the game? Okay. As long as it's in someone else's neighborhood, okay. Just checking. That's not a bad idea, Mike. Mike says you're going on a trip to Mexico so we can get all that free stuff they want in a first class to Alaska Air for all who cross Joe's Tree. Yeah, you get a phone. You can, if you don't want to pay for if you're close to Mexico, you could drive, or I don't get across, take a short flight or whatever. And then if you want to go across to New York, let's say, it could be government funded that way. You just walk right across, you get your phone, you get your thing. And if you go to New York and you can actually pull it off that you're illegal, you get $1,000, to stop all the influx of migrants. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, Talit. Talit, look out. Left is the passing lane. I agree. It is the passing lane. And it makes me angry when people, I see you got me. It makes me angry when I see people just driving slow in that lane. But, I don't get so angry. It hits me. I feel the anger. I'm like, it's actually where the law here to slow down the left lane. I'm just going by law. Okay. Roseanne says, I want to get this country as an illegal. Mayorkas. Oh, there's a guy who needs to go, huh? He's supporting the invasion. See the interview. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Mayorkas is he's not the cause, but he's the symptom, right? He was put in there to do a job, and the job was to stand down the border, and he's doing a great job of it. That was the job he was given. It's certainly not the stated position of Homeland Security to do that. But that was the job he was tasked with by the Biden administration. So he's an unmitigated success from that standpoint. And so good. I mean, even though he's not the root cause, I would love just to take a stand, just for an FU to the Democrats to get that guy impeached. He needs to go. Now they'll just replace him with someone else just like him. But hey, you know what? Take what you can get. Heidi says, if you let someone live with you and use your address, they can legally evict you and take your property. I know people it's happened to in Oklahoma. Never let someone use your address. I believe you. And that, again, it goes back to the liberal laws in cities where in liberal cities, you don't even need that. You just basically have to occupy the space. You don't even have to be on the lease. And then it's the job of the person who owns the house to somehow get it back from you, which will take forever because, again, the laws are written for criminals in liberal cities. It's Leftism 101. Both sides of the show. This is the post from Joni Mitchell to Billie Eilish to Miley Cyrus. Here are the Grammys' best and worst moments. Yeah, I bet you they were all pretty crappy. Did not watch the Grammys. Okay, let me basically the Grammy, all these shows are just excuses for chicks to kind of hoard up in barely their outfits, right? The truth about and get some publicity. It's a PR thing. I get it. Playing the game. All right. And look at this. The dailymail.uk has it as their front story. All right. What happened to the news? Dailymail.uk. Really? We're going with this fluff piece here? All right. Fair enough. The truth about the tail. Oh, so stupid. The truth about the Taylor Swift Celine Dion Grammys drama. The biggest on-stage snub. A repulsive red carpet tattoo, and the most obnoxious acceptance speech. Kennedy rave review of the best award show she's seen in years. Okay, so Kennedy apparently really is this Kennedy from MTV? Maybe she apparently liked it. But yeah, apparently the whole Celine Dion thing is like she didn't I don't know, kiss her or make out with her on stage, so she didn't give her enough love. But then backstage they're all huggy, so that's like nonsense. And then someone else shows up in a barely their outfit. Yeah, blah blah. It's like every Grammys is this, or whatever the hell. It doesn't really, what is the Grammys? That makes it even worse. Was it the Grammys? Yeah. Worse. I mean, all the shows are pretty crappy. All these award shows are pretty crappy. The Grammys is notoriously extra crappy. Oh, speaking of New York, I guess it's a New York day. I've been on New York all day, but it's just because it's such an S show. It's such an absolute S show. And then you got Adams claiming he wants to stop it, end it, who will do nothing of the sort to do that, and then is even now offering money to come visit if you're illegal. Regular folk, not so much. Regular folk, get the hell out. If you're a regular folk, leave. So here's on the Daily Mail. It says a shocking video. This is a new one. Shows migrant moped riders. That's a thing. Like in these countries where a lot of these guys are coming from. I'm trying to think of like. Which I don't know. It's the moped. It's always what you see on like the TikTok. Two guys on a moped. One guy's there to drive. The other guy's there to steal stuff, and then they hop back on. Well, I guess that's becoming a rage in New York now. Shocking video shows migrant moped riders dragging woman along New York City street after stealing her phone. As cops reveal, Venezuelan gang is behind 62 thefts. Yeah, so Venezuela. All right. And why wouldn't they? They've already seen what happens when you beat down on a cop. What's dragging a woman a few feet? Who is foolish enough to try and save her phone. And then of course you wonder, like, lady who just got dragged and let me see. I'll show you this video. It's Daily Mail because it gives me a chance to use the my feature of Daily Mail. I can't spell daily. All right, so let me pull this up. Here we go. Pull this up. I want you to see this video. So my question and why do you change it on me? I hate when they okay. All right, here I'm going to try and share. I learned how to do this the other day. I'm a big boy. I can share things on my computer screen. All right, here we go. I think I'm sharing now. I want to get rid of that, and then I go here. And how am I doing? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, you can see right above my head. There it is. There it is. All right, so you see this woman. She's, this. It looks like right out of like Venezuela, right? Like, it's New York. This is New York City. Moped thieves stealing stuff and people hanging on. Next time, let the phone go. Like, seriously, look at that. Look at the abuse this woman's taken. And she looks like almost like she's wearing a helmet. I don't know what the hell she's wearing, but anyway, so that happens. So why would the thieves feel so brazen that they can do this? Well, obviously because they just saw a cop being assaulted, two cops being assaulted, and no punishment whatsoever for the perpetrators. Game on, folks. Game on. Oh, and we'll be down Friday or tomorrow after we get some more robberies done to get our $1,000 gift cards. They're getting them too. Why wouldn't they? And so this is happening in the streets of New York because it's allowed to, because it's lawless, because of the no cash bail, because of Adams' laissez-faire attitude towards, although he's supposedly against it, yet at the same time now has done more to encourage it than any other state by offering money to people who want to come in. It's just crazy. This is just. But my sympathy, I sympathize with the woman being dragged. First off, you should have let the phone go. It's a damn phone. What kind of injuries did you sustain? It didn't look like that knee's going to be messed up for a while or whatever hit that thing, So to my mind, let go of the phone. But number two, whether I have you sympathy on it, is who did you vote for in the last election? Did you vote for DA Alvin Bragg? Did you vote for Mayor Adams? Because if you did, you know what? You deserve it. And it may be harsh, but it's tough love. It's tough love time, New York. If you vote for the politicians who make this a reality, you are just as complicit, in fact, more complicit in it than they are. They're just doing what you elected them to do. And if you elect them, it's on you. It's not their fault. They're a symptom of you. It comes down to the voter. Look yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and say, who did I vote for last election? So next time you get robbed or hit or beat up, if you get murdered, you're kind of out of luck. You can't really have that moment. But if there's a problem in your city and you're voting for the party who every day makes it worse, you are the problem. You are the problem. They are a symptom. They're a symptom. They're your symptom, I guess. So I don't know. If you didn't vote for Adams, then I feel bad for you. You probably want to leave the city. I'd get out of there. But still, why are you hanging on the phone for? It's a damn phone. It's got my naked pic. Maybe that's what it was. She had like a lot of sauce. Probably that's what it was. To hang onto a phone like that and be dragged by a moped. She got some stuff on that. I'm making stuff up now a little bit. She's married, and she got a lot of saucy pictures. She doesn't want up on some porn website that these guys will probably upload immediately. There's some dirty pictures on there. There's some stuff. It's just a guess. Oh, King Charles has cancer. Oh no. Oh, maybe that's what I just saw something on Charles. Yeah, I think let me see real quick. I'm gonna refresh this. I think I just saw something about Charles, but I just glanced at it. Yeah, okay, he's diagnosed with cancer. Okay, so he's 75, he's got cancer. He's probably not going to, I don't know how serious it is, but if they're talking about it, so William is at some point going to be the king. That's coming up next. Charles at least got it in there though, right? I mean, Queen Elizabeth hung out there for a long time. Charles is just like, come on. Hey, everybody, I'm the king. He got in real quick and we're just like that, right back out again. But he'll be there for a bit. I'm sure, who knows what kind of cancer it is, how aggressive it is. Okay. Is that his name? Amy Horowitz? Maybe that's the guy on the street guy. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember his name, but it could be it. I don't know. But he's very funny. I enjoy that guy's stuff. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, I'll get it for the next time. I'll play it for the next time. Tomorrow I'll be back and I'll grab one of the clips of it. I like it. I'll promote the guy. He's very funny. And it's so sad and scary at the same time. All right, I've been going for about an hour and a half. I think I'm going to log up also because my battery's about to die. Yeah, so I feel like we've covered it. I had a great time with everyone. Thank you so much as always, Mike and Roseanne and Talit and Heidi and Doxy and everybody else who I'm missing because Fun Guy 85. Thank you for tuning in. And anyone else I may have missed. I will be back tomorrow at when will I be back? 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm liking the Rumble software. I just wish I had like categories because I feel like I get less views when I don't have the categories. But we'll see. We'll make it work. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna try and stay dry, but it's not gonna be easy because it just keeps raining. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. It won't go to Camilla. No, I don't think so, right? I didn't even think of that. Camilla doesn't get it because she's like, she's not she's the what is it? It's a kind of a degrading name, like the king's consort or something. It just sounds like whorish. I mean, it just doesn't sound like, like concubine. It's like kind of close to, I forget what her title is, but yeah, I don't think she gets it. Yes, please like and share and follow. Thank you, Mike and Talit and Roseanne and Heidi and 19.5. Everybody, I really appreciate it. William has Diane's blood in it. He's destined to be king. Yeah, I think William will be a good king. I think he will. Harry, not so much. But William, I think you're good. You're right on the money there, Angel, Gabriel, Heaven One. That's that's some good religious stuff there. Hey, I might become a lector. Come check me out. That's a real thing. But I have to go to some don't touch the kids class before they allow it, which is fine. Yeah. I don't know that the class is going to cure anybody, but the Catholic Church is like, hey, look, we're trying. Okay, everybody. Here's again my awkward sign off. Hey, bud, for me, good to see you. My awkward sign off, it won't be as awkward because the Rumble software seems to end it pretty good. So I may not have an awkward sign off and maybe a regular sign off. Fix my hair for it though, for the dismount. All right. God bless you all. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please tell your friends and family to join me here on Rumble Live. Get a cameo for Valentine's Day. You can check that out. You can also see me on where else? At jeffahern.com. My latest videos up there now on my members page here on Rumble and on Patreon. I think that's all the plugs. Jeremy's Razors, code Ahern15 saves you 15% on razors and more. That's got to be it. Bye, Grammy Admin. Good to see you all. Talk to you soon. And now I can't even awkward dismount. I think this is going to be a normal one. We'll see. All right, here we go. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. See you tomorrow at 9. Oh, see that I awkward signed up myself. I click it and then it says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." All right. Bye, everybody.